Hello, this is Fern, and today I'd like to share with y'all a video about saving the seeds from my flowers. So this was filmed, I don't know, a handful of days ago, before I was dealing with all this wildfire stuff. So I wouldn't be doing this now because it's very smoky outside, but just a heads up about that. So this is a mallow plant. I've got to look up what it actually is. Excuse me for a second. My little wildflower seed packet mix is saying that this is tree mallow. So for the tree mallow seeds, what I do, and just as a blanket statement for all of these, I'm not taking all of the seeds off the plant. Some of them I'm letting stay on and drop kind of like they would naturally. And then some about half of them probably less than half, maybe a third. Not more than half I'm taking to save for my own use. And then hopefully the others just kind of self-seed and keep the little patch going, and then I can spread these seeds to other places or give them to other people. So for the tree mallow, I'm taking these seed pods. They've been dried up on here for quite a while, and there is a ton of seed pods. It is amazing. So they have this husk, and they have this little button thing that's on the top that kind of protects all of these seeds that are inside under the button thing in the husk thing, and there is just a ring of seeds. So these are actually easier to disperse on the fly because you can kind of crumble everything up and then sprinkle the whole thing over an area. Saving them is a little bit more process intensive because you have to kind of husk them and I don't know if it was this plant or if it was some other plant that was actually kind of prickly and pokey, and so I had little pokey things that were going into my skin. So anyway, I can't say that this particular seed pod process was particularly enjoyable, but there's an absolute ton of seed pods that I still have to process if I want to actually process all of the ones that are in this cup, which I'm thinking I don't want to do that. But maybe I'll bring the cup inside, and if I'm not evacuating, it'll be an okay way to spend all of these super smoky days. All right, I gotta go look up another plant. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, so this is called 4 o'clock Marvel. I kind of hate that name. But anyway, these are some cute flowers, and the seeds form in a really interesting way. They just kind of sit in the cup after the petals dry up and fall off. So they're just kind of loose and not even rattle around. They're just kind of loosely sitting on the plant. So if you knock into it, they'll fall off. It's pretty interesting. So you'll see that it's basically little cups that are still holding the seeds in them. So those are fairly easy to collect, and they're also really large. So it's so they're easy to keep track of. These are dried up poppies. Or they're the dried up poppy seed pods. So for the poppy seed pods, they're these little dried things, and when you shake them, kind of like a salt shaker, all of these poppies fall out of them. It's kind of fun. And if you want to sprinkle them around, just a patch somewhere, you take the seed pod and then you just kind of ring it like a bell over the area, and all the seeds fall out. I can't fully tell if all of them are mature seeds, to be honest, because some of them seem kind of small and weak. Not super sure about that. So we'll see. But yeah, it is amazing how many seeds this thing makes. Just one pod. They're tiny, 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 tiny seeds, as you can tell. Quite different from the 4 o'clock marble. So this is Chinese forget-me-not. The seeds are kind of like burrs. They kind of grip on to like the fur of an animal. That they have that texture on the outside. And you can kind of just like strip these off of the plant once they're dry. And then put them in a little envelope. These ones are pretty easy to collect. And I have a feeling they'll be transferred all over the yard because of the quantity of feral cats that we have in the neighborhood. I have a few. I think I have 3 of the Chinese forget-me-nots out and about in the yard right now. So we'll see how many I have next year. Well, I guess 4, because you can see the one in the bottom corner here. Oh boy. Now, here's the problem. I don't remember what this is at all. Because I don't really remember what the flower looks like compared to the other ones that are kind of similar. Because I think there's, larkspur and possibly snapdragons or toadflax. Probably not toadflax. But anyway, these are like a little container, and they just have, they're like a, I don't know, like a jug. And they have all of these tiny little seeds inside of them. So I'm sorry, not really completely sure which one this is compared to the other ones. But it's something. So again, I'm not taking all of them. This is a different plant, and this one has a similar structure. But it's a little bit more open and the seeds are larger. So these ones, I could tell that some seeds had already totally exited the seed pod and fallen to the ground because they kind of bend over with the weight of all of the flowers that are still on the top. And so when the ones lower down are drying up, they'll release all of that. But yeah, I could probably look at the foliage and figure it out eventually what those 2 flowers are, but sorry, for right now, I don't know. But regardless, it's interesting to see the different shapes of seed pods and the techniques for releasing seeds that the plants have naturally. These are the cosmos that are in my raised beds. Those are pretty simple. You just grab the dry seeds. You probably end up dropping several as you do it. And I'm hoping... Well, I'm anticipating a ton of cosmos coming up next year in those same beds. Here's my zinnia, my big old zinnia that's been in the garden bed all summer. This, I've realized, is kind of similar to the, what's it called? The mallow, the tree mallow in like difficulty of dealing with. So it's better to just keep all of the seeds on this little like the like flower head, and then you can just take all of those off of there, because you can see there's some seeds that are attached to the flower petals, the dried flower petals still, but it's a lot simpler to just have the ones just attached to the seed head and then collect those. These are my bachelor's buttons. These are super simple. Once the flower is dried, you can just kind of rub the seeds off with your thumb and they'll all come off. I really like the look of bachelor button seeds. I think they're very cute. They have like a little like brushy head to them, which is, I don't know, it's just charming. So I frequently just walk by this plant and I scatter seeds all over the place. So yeah, that's what they look like. And that one's super simple to save. And I think this one's my last. This is marigold. And oh no, this is not my last, but this is marigold, and it's very similar to cosmos in how you collect the seed. You just kind of pull them out of the flower, the dried flower head, and there will be a ton of seeds in there. And I also really like the look of marigold seeds. They're kind of like stripy, and not stripy, but they're neat looking. The last one that I have that I didn't actually show the plant for is the Black Eyed Susan. This has just a ton of tiny seeds in the dried up flower head. I didn't actually realize how these seeds were, like, how they worked, until I started kind of playing with this flower head. I mean, that could be said for pretty much collecting all of these seeds. I really didn't know until I kind of started looking at them after they dried up, and I'm like, where are you hiding your seeds? So that is it. That was a lot. I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, thanks for watching.